What does it really cost to live in America today? In 2025, the financial reality for average Americans has shifted dramatically from just a few years ago. Whether you're renting an apartment in New York, buying groceries in Texas, or filling up your car in California, the numbers tell a compelling story about life in the United States. Today, we're breaking down the real cost of living in America, not just the headline inflation numbers, but what everyday expenses actually look like for different Americans across the country. Let's dive into the data. After the inflation surge of 2021 to 2023, prices have somewhat stabilized but remain significantly higher than pre-pandemic levels. The official inflation rate for 2025 stands at 3.1%, but this single number masks the complex reality many Americans face. Median household income has reached approximately $82,000, up from $74,580 in 2022. However, this 10% increase in income hasn't kept pace with cumulative inflation over the same period, leaving many households with less purchasing power than before. Housing costs, rent versus mortgage. Housing remains Americans' largest expense, with dramatically different pictures for renters versus homeowners. Renting. The national median rent for a one-bedroom apartment stands at $1,750 per month, representing a 20% increase since 2022. In major metropolitan areas, the numbers are significantly higher. New York City, $3,200. San Francisco, $3,100. Miami, $2,400. Austin, $1,900. Chicago, $1,850. For renters earning the median income, housing now consumes approximately 35% of pre-tax income, well above the recommended 30% threshold for financial health. Home ownership. For homeowners, the story is more complex. The median home price in America has reached $425,000, up from $375,000 in 2022. Current mortgage rates hover around 6.2%, lower than the 7% plus rate seen in 2023, but still nearly double the sub-3% rates many enjoyed in 2021. This means a typical mortgage payment on a median-priced home with 20% down is approximately $2,080 per month, not including property taxes and insurance. For those who purchased homes before 2022, mortgage payments remain stable and often lower than current rental costs. However, first-time home buyers face significant affordability challenges, with mortgage payments requiring about 38% of median household income in many markets. Everyday expenses, the grocery cart. The average American household now spends $1,150 per month on groceries for a family of four, compared to $960 in 2022. Let's look at some staple items. Gallon of milk, $4.85, up from $3.80 in 2022. Dozen eggs, $3.75, down from the 2023 peak of $4.80. Pound of ground beef, $6.25, up from $4.90 in 2022. Loaf of bread, $3.90, up from $2.75 in 2022. Pound of chicken, $4.20, up from $3.30 in 2022. Pound of coffee, $9.80, up from $7.50 in 2022. Food inflation has disproportionately impacted fresh produce and protein sources, leading many households to adjust their shopping habits. Budget-conscious consumers increasingly rely on store brands, which now make up 32% of grocery purchases, compared to 25% in 2022. Transportation costs. Gas prices. National average gasoline prices stand at $4.15 per gallon, with significant regional variation. California, $5.40. Texas, $3.85. New York, $4.30. Florida, $4.10. For a household with 2 cars averaging 12,000 miles per year each at 25 miles per gallon, annual fuel costs amount to approximately $4,000. Electric vehicles. EV ownership costs have fallen, with the average new electric vehicle now costing $48,000, down from $54,000 in 2023. While the purchase price remains higher than comparable gas vehicles, operating costs average $0.05 per mile for electricity versus $0.16 per mile for gasoline. Public transportation. Monthly transit passes in major cities have also seen increases. New York City, MTA, $165. Chicago, CTA, $110. Los Angeles, Metro, $120. Washington, D.C., Metro, $135. Healthcare costs. Healthcare remains a significant expense and source of financial stress for many Americans. In 2025, average annual premium for employer-sponsored family health insurance, $27,800. Employee contribution, $7,500. Average annual premium for individual health insurance through the marketplace, $7,900 before subsidies. Average deductible for employer plans, $2,300 for individuals, $4,700 for families. Average out-of-pocket maximum, $9,200 individual, $18,400 family. For a family of 4 with employer coverage, total healthcare spending, premiums plus out-of-pocket costs, averages approximately $12,000 annually, representing about 15% of median household income. Childcare and education. For families with children, childcare costs continue to represent a substantial financial burden. Average annual cost for infant care, $17,500. Average annual cost for preschool-age child, $14,800. Average annual cost for after-school care, $8,600. College expenses have also continued their upward trajectory. Average annual in-state public university, tuition, fees, room and board, $32,000. Average annual private university, $64,000. Average student loan payment, $420 per month. Technology and utilities. The basic utilities and technology services for an average household now cost: electricity, $185 per month, up from $150 in 2022. Natural gas heating, $110 per month. Water, sewer, $85 per month. Internet service, $95 per month. Cell phone service, family plan for 4, $180 per month. Streaming services, $85 per month for typical household subscriptions. Regional variations. The national averages mask significant regional differences. Let's compare the monthly cost of living for a family of 4 in different cities. San Francisco, California. Housing, mortgage, rent, $4,200. Utilities, $480. Food, $1,520. Transportation, $650. Healthcare, $1,000. Childcare, $2,100. Total, $9,950. Dallas, Texas. Housing, mortgage, rent, $2,100. Utilities, $410. Food, $1,100. Transportation, $580. Healthcare, $980. Childcare, $1,350. Total, $6,520. Columbus, Ohio. Housing, mortgage, rent, $1,700. Utilities, $380. Food, $980. Transportation, $540. Healthcare, $950. Childcare, $1,200. Total, $5,750. Coping strategies. Americans are adapting to these economic pressures in several ways. Multiple income streams. 38% of households now have at least one member with a side hustle or secondary income source. Delayed milestones. The average age of first-time homebuyers has increased to 37, while 40% of adults under 30 now live with parents or relatives. Remote work. 42% of employed Americans work remotely at least part-time, with many citing reduced commuting costs as a significant financial benefit. Shared living. Co-living arrangements and house sharing have increased by 35% since 2022. Subscription optimization. The average household has reduced discretionary subscriptions by 20% compared to 2022 levels. The cost of living in America in 2025 presents a complex picture. While headline inflation has moderated, the cumulative impact of price increases since 2021 has fundamentally altered the financial landscape for many Americans. The most successful households have adapted through flexibility, technology adoption, and careful prioritization of expenses. However, financial strain remains particularly acute for those in high-cost regions, renters, and families with children. Understanding these real costs is crucial for anyone planning their financial future in today's America. Whether you're budgeting for next month, considering a move across the country, or making long-term career decisions. How have rising costs affected your budget? Share your experience in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like and subscribe for more videos on navigating today's economic landscape. Thanks for watching.